The build at its finest. Vaporized, absolutely. You don't even have to aim. Yeah, I have high energy fire ready. Whoa, now we're talking, baby. This is the match, baby. This is the match. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. Let's talk about the Arc 3.0 build idea I have in petto today, and I have to say I tested it just a little bit, and it seems to be the most casual, hardcore dead build you can run. I mean, it's not meta, it's not cheese, it's pretty funny already, and I think it can be insane when Arc 3.0 actually hits the Destiny live servers with the next season. Let's talk a little bit about what we're gonna run with that build. So our main weapon will be Symmetry, the exotic scout rifle. That is kind of underwhelming by itself, but you can do some nasty stuff with it if you build around that sexy beast. Let's talk about the perks first. So we got Dynamic Charge. Precision hits build up dynamic charges. Swapping to Arc Seeker mode increases damage and partially reloads the magazine based on the number of charges. So, we used that in PvP, and keep in mind the first sentence. Precision hits build up dynamic charges. So nobody is talking about kills here. You just have to get your precision hits. You don't even have to kill somebody to build those charges up. And regarding the charges, with the Catalyst you can have up to 20 charges. That's not that important because you won't need so many in the Crucible. Let's talk about some numbers regarding the charges pretty quickly. When it gets interesting, so 4 stacks is 85 damage in the Crucible. 6 stacks is 98 damage, which is already enough damage to 2-tap most resiliences. Not all, but most. And when you have 7 stacks, so 7 precision hits, you get 103 damage when you use the Arc Seeker mode, ladies and gentlemen. So, with that said, keep in mind the 4 stacks with 85 damage. We will talk about that one in just a second. This build, this Arc 3.0 build idea, it's not meta right now. It's totally niche right now. You can do nasty things with Symmetry, and I think this could be huge with Arc 3.0. And if you build around it right now, and we will talk about that, man, it's like the it's like the fundamental build core of a hardcore casual dead build, because you stay back, get your charges up, and then you go to down 2-tapping guys with hipfire. So we talked about Symmetry and about the damage numbers. With 4 stacks you have 85 damage. That's not enough to 2-tap anybody, but that's the base, because those stacks stack with other damage multipliers, and that's what we're gonna talk about right now, what we run with Symmetry. So what do we pair our Symmetry with? You see it here, Mantle of Battle Harmony. We will talk about the stats in just a second. So Mantle of Battle Harmony absorption cell takedowns with weapons that have a damage type matching your subclass element grants you super energy. While your super energy is full, you instead gain a temporary bonus to weapon damage of the type matching your subclass element. And that's why we are talking about Symmetry, Mantle of Battle Harmony in combination with Arc 3.0. Because, as I told you before, 4 precision hits with Symmetry. And then you use the stacks, you get 85 damage with that. And when you have a Mantle of Battle Harmony up and you get the first hit with that, you get the absorption cells bonus, and then from now on you 2-tap with, let me check that, I forgot with how much damage, but then you can 2-tap with Mantle of Battle Harmony when you sit on your super. You won't always have your super ready, obviously, so we build on that. We build on that 85 damage with 2 stacks, and we do with 4 stacks, and we do that with, you guessed it, I think, charged with light. That's what I'm running here mod wise. Yeah, scout rifle targeting mod is beneficial, and then we use a charge harvester to become charged with light, and I think that's the most the most beneficial becoming charged with light mod for the Crucible, even if it comes at a -10 class ability. For my Warlock, that's a -10 recovery, but that's kind of okay, because if we read that here, while you're not charged with light, any kill or assist has a small cumulative chance to cause you to become charged with light. And if we talk about that in combination with Symmetry, the second part is important, not the kill part. That's also okay, but the assist part. So you basically want to stay in the back lane, as you should as a hardcore casual dead, and then you basically collect precision hits to get your charges up and then to tap the enemies. Because if your team kills them, it is an assist and you have the chance to become charged with light. Keep that in mind, that's pretty easy. And in addition to that, we also use Taking Charge, which does the same when you pick up an Orb of Light. That comes more into play in the second half of a Crucible match, when those orbs are lying around because your teammates are throwing their supers. And with that said, charged up to have 1 stack more. And with that said, we use also high energy fire with this build, because that basically does the same, even harder hitting than Battle Harmony, because then you have the 25% weapon damage, which brings us again back to Symmetry with the dynamic charge. And now if you have 4 stacks and are charged with light, those damage numbers stack and you 2-tap guys with your hip fire. And did I mention that the dynamic charge, so the Arc Seeker mode, they are lightly tracking, not too crazy, but lightly tracking. And if you hit a wall with the stacks, it's also a little bit of splash damage. So, ladies and gentlemen, I was totally prepared today to show you what I was just talking about in action, okay? We were talking about Symmetry and the stacks. So we're going around the corner here. Yeah, I got some nice shots in there, that's pretty fine. As you can see, I don't kill them. Yes, I kill 1, but I will hit the next guy with some precision hits. Bam, 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 bam. Now we have 4 stacks of dynamic charge, okay? Nothing. Yeah, yeah, that was the wrong button. I actually wanted to make the reload stuff, but yeah, you get the idea. I'm getting old. Yeah, that was the right one. That's the one. Okay, now, as I said before, we now have the 4 dynamic charges changed into the magazine. Which, with the wrong button, that's a totally jaywalking play right there. Oh, man. That's why we're close, bro. So you can see it here, revolution times 4. And now, let's go. Let's make that totally dead style. We just don't aim. We just shoot in the general direction. Bam, bam. That's a 2. So he was already... somebody already hit him. So that's 2 85s and he's down. And now the next guy is coming. And I think I don't even hit him all the time. I think one time I hit the wall, but the splash damage will do its work. Bam, bam. So as you could see, another 2 85s. He was also not at full health. So those 2 shots basically killed him off pretty quickly. And that's without high energy fire, ladies and gentlemen. Without high energy fire and without Mantle of Battle Harmony. So let's have a look. Yeah, wonderful. Absolutely. Let's have a look how that works with Mantle of Battle Harmony. You can see my Arc Super is full. I have 3 stacks, so we need a few more. Bam, bam, bam. Yes, I know it was a spawn kill. It's nasty, but it's okay, okay? You have to do those. Now we have 6 stacks. Even without Mantle of Battle Harmony, that should 2-tap those guys, but we have the Mantle of Battle Harmony ready, so let's see what happens next. Let's go! So they spawn there. I'm sorry, there's a sniper. You can just strafe now and hip firing in that direction. So here you see it, 83. That was the first hit, and now Battle Harmony, the absorption cells are basically active, and we hit for 117. 117 to the body with seeking bullets. That's 1 kill. That's 2 kills. And now, right from the corner, comes a Titan and basically ruins my day. Yeah. What I wanted to say about Symmetry in addition and the whole build we're talking about. You have to do a little bit of micromanagement with the build, but I think we casual dads at our age, we are fine at micromanaging stuff, because you have to see that when you have, or you have to take care about your charges, keep an eye on them, then decide when you use them, and please never forget to switch back to the regular rounds, because the Arc Seeker mode rounds without any stacks are shit, okay? Basically wasted. So that's the micromanagement you have to look for. Also, is Battle Harmony ready? That's not that important, but maybe you have stacks with light and try to pair that, because then you really massacre those guys. In depth, how that works. And yes, with high energy fire, you do even more damage. And Jay, that's the same what I thought. Jesus. So basically, your core build is now ready. Let's talk a little bit about subclasses. So right now, I'm running Bottom Tree Stormcaller with that, Arc Bolt Grenade, Healing Rift, because that's nice for dueling and just to stay up a little bit longer or in the firing lane. And then I use a landfall. That's just funny when you have, let's say, a bubble of a Titan and you jump high and release the shockwave. Normally we sit on our super in this case, okay? I try to sit on it. Then we have Arc Soul. Arc Soul is not that critical, but I think when you don't have the charges ready and your damage buff, Arc Soul is the one thing that helps you with having Symmetry kind of compensating for the lags Symmetry has, okay? Or when you have to play with that build on Twilight Gap. That really helps a lot on Twilight Gap. I mean, I don't like Twilight Gap, but that's, you know, you get the idea. Then Electrostatic Surge, your Rift lasts longer, it charges faster, and you run faster when allies are near. That is pretty nice in the Crucible as well, especially in 6s, where you can have back-to-back wells if played correctly. And then we have Rising Storm, the Electrocuting melee ability recharges your super, which is nice for Mantle of Battle Harmony. Grenade and melee energy. So that's the subclass for now, and I have high hopes that we can get some crazy combinations when Arc 3.0 actually goes live with the next season. I'm really curious, and I think we can make this build even stronger. We can make this build even stronger. The last piece of this build we have to talk about are the stats. Mobility isn't that important. I run exactly 60 resilience, so 60 resilience seems to be the sweet spot right now in the Crucible. Let me have a quick sip, and while I have a quick sip, and if you like that stuff, and if your stepmom and stepsister like that stuff, please leave a like and help me to grow my little channel. Okay, I had my sip, let's continue. Recovery should be as high as possible. Usually I would prefer to have 100, but I had to sacrifice a little bit here for that build to get my intellect to 70. 70 seems to be still, with the changes to super energy, it seems to be the sweet spot. In the past, it would be even crazier. In the yeah, I hydrate again. In the past, you could get your super back even faster with that build. I think in the past it was like 2 minutes and 50 seconds, okay, tops. I think with 100 intellect and 2 minutes something with 70 intellect, but 70 seems still the best. And yeah, sweet spot. 60 is also fine, but 70 really seems to be the best number for those stats. So this is basically the build. I don't have a name for it, but I love it. It's fun. If you want to try something that's totally hardcore casual dead out there in the Crucible, then give this build a go and let me hear your feedback in the comments. And if you have any other weapon ideas for Arc 3.0 in your mind, let's hear them in the comments as well, ladies and gentlemen. With that said, that's the build video for this week. I hope you enjoyed this little piece of content coming to you from Mom's basement. And I hope to see you next week or daily at my shorts. DirtyHotte, out.